your name?
Owen.
Owen.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Owen.
Nice to meet you too. What's your name?
Wendy.
Wendy?
So how long have you been in the business?
It's been my first week. Well, it's my second week now.
Yeah, newbie.
Yeah, I'm pretty new.
Brand spanking new. What what motivated you to become a real estate agent?
Oh, how sweet of you.
Um,
Thank you.
I think like, of course, like I want money, right? But
Very
if
good.
if
Thank you.
if you want to go deeper than that, but like the reason why I want money is I want to start a family soon.
Yeah, that's fine.
How old are you, Owen?
21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually guys your age just wait a while.
Yeah. Well.
Everyone's like delayed. Like
Yeah.
usually men
That's
don't want to
strong
settle
as
until like
it
in their
is.
30s. Hey, I know men that are like in their 40s and still thinking about it.
Still thinking about having kids. I think like for me, like I grew up with my parents, right? I didn't have any siblings.
Oh, you're the only
I'm
child?
only child, and my
So
parents
then you
always,
want a lot of kids.
yeah, my parents were always busy working. They never had time for me.
Oh.
But it wasn't their fault, right? I
Yeah, yeah,
understood
yeah.
that. So I want to have like, I want to heal my inner child, right, by having a kid, spending time with him, play baseball, right? I don't know, just do stuff with my kid to
Oh,
make
I
me
love
happy.
that.
Yeah, because I never got the chance to do it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome to Database, Grow Your Database 101. All right, we're gonna get started because it's already past. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
Everyone's awake?
Yeah.
Starting to.
Half and half. Well, welcome to Grow Your Database. My name is Wendy. I am also your broker. Little bit about me. I started in 2004, right before the brink of our market crashing. So I got to see a little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly in our markets. And now I'm here to share my experiences and also my wisdom. So today we're learning about your database. Let me click here. Here we go. We're learning about your database and how it affects your business. And in the last session, you guys learned lead generation, correct? Okay. So all of your leads must go somewhere to be organized. And once your leads and contacts are captured in your container, in your database, you can leverage your database by cultivating your relationships and generating new and referral business. So let's see. Who wants to share their success system? Oh, I'm going to pick on you. Okay, we'll start with Owen. What challenges have you encountered? Have you encountered any challenges yet?
I think figuring out like
Good morning.
Good morning.
figuring out not necessarily the script, but like what is my script? How do I want to say it? How am I naturally gonna say it?
Okay. And let's see. Has anyone else had any other challenges?
My challenge has always been lead generating.
Okay.
In terms of clients, not being timely or attending my appointments. I have to tell those. But lead generation mainly is my consistency has been, so-so. So that's what I need to work on.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
Yeah, my challenge is just that I've
you just summed up the whole class, girl.
Oh.
Pretty much. Have you had any challenges? What is your name? I'm sorry.
Saidi.
Saidi. You guys don't have nameplates?
We do.
Oh. Any challenges that you've encountered?
Everything? I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I feel like right now I'm getting into like, I've been motivated just because I've been coming more. So, I've been meeting one-on-one with Armando. So we did like the, what is it, 36 touches. And so we've done smart plans, safe searches. So I'm getting a little bit more. I've only done one open house.
How did that go?
It was good. It was good, but now I got my sign, so I'm ready to do more open houses. But
Did you get any leads?
I have one, but then right now I'm working with a buyer. So I'm excited for that because I'm like, learning everything. So, yeah, I think I just gotta motivate myself more.
Okay. Francis? Any challenges so far?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Good for, what's your
trying to-
secret?
Tell us.
What's your secret?
Challenges, yes, but I don't try to think about them. If I think of challenges, ugh, no, but what I'm doing, I'm calling, I'm talking to people, and everybody seems happy for me. So, yes,
That's good.
yes,
You
they're
have
telling me,
support.
"Oh, okay, it's good to know. Oh, Keller Williams, wow." So, yeah, it's good.
That's a good, yeah.
This
Most,
is a good thing.
some of your clients, when you let them know also who you work for, it's a name that's known, and
Yes.
you're backed by a strong company. Some clients care, some don't. Some do care for the reputation.
Well,
So,
Hispanics,
you're
we
in
do
good hands.
care.
Yeah.
Yes, and some Hispanics, they do, and they're like, "Oh, wow, I'm so glad for you, and now I know." I was like, they knew that I was doing in business, but they were like, "Where were you working?" And I used to tell them, and, "Oh, okay, good." But now it's like, wow. So
Good.
yeah,
That's good. You have support.
we do.
Now, has everyone been able to meet with their accountability partners? Yeah.
We got one here.
Yeah.
So what aha moment did you guys get from working together?
Well, we just hooked up. That's the wrong word to use. I'm sorry.
You know,
We connected.
in this
yes.
generation, yes.
Words are so I'm sorry. She knows what I mean.
You're in a safe space.
I know she's been in the business for a while, and then I have two other accountability partners.
Oh, good.
So it's good to have more than one because sometimes they can't be available because they're accountability to each other. They're husband and wife.
Okay.
So I needed another one sometime. So we're gonna be each.
And what aha moment did you get from having an accountability partner?
Well, it's good to have someone right next to you that you can ask questions and just be able to talk to, communicate with. You know.
Oh, and what's yours?
Brandon.
Okay.
Brandon and Nate. Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what aha moment did you get from having a partner, an accountability partner?
I think they just tell me like, look, if you don't do this, you're not gonna grow. Straight up.
Men are different. They're cutthroat. Okay. You're like, this is how we do it, bro.
Yeah, like this. It's
Sink
either
or swim.
this. Yeah, it's either this or you don't do it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
I have a Jaime.
Okay.
Jaime and Armando. So usually anything I need, I always, message them. I've been learning a lot, so I feel like I gotta get it together.
One thing I will say is that you will never stop learning.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a career that it's a never ending, especially when you have to renew your license every 4 years. In a sense, even though it's like a pain in the butt sometimes, but at the same time, it refreshes your mind with all the new things, all the new circumstances. It's actually helpful when you go through it because you take, different courses to renew it. So it's helpful, but it's a career that I realize that you just never stop. It's always new things, new lawsuits, new contracts. You're always constantly learning. So don't get overwhelmed. You'll get there. Yeah. Okay. So let's go briefly on the agenda. So we're going to start with your smart data bank, building your database, feeding your database, communicating with your database, servicing, and then we'll do our recaps on our aha moments. So let's see. What questions did I know about? So far, since you did lead generation, what was the main or important thing that you guys learned about? Because that's going to roll over to your database. So lead generating, capture them. What was the most important thing? Starting with you, Owen. What was the one thing that you learned?
To be honest, I forgot. I forgot the class. I can look back at my notes though real quick.
I'm guessing social media was a big thing,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
right?
Social media.
Okay. What was one other thing? Give me 5 points of what you learned on that, on how to get them. Because what we're going to learn today is how to maneuver them and how to nurture them. What other source of lead generation?
Open houses.
Open houses. So I love open houses. And you'll find your niche. Some people love to door knock. Some people love open houses. Some people don't like door knocking. Um, some people don't like videos. Like now we have to become we're our own superstar. Like you got to get out there. And you cannot be a secret agent. So some people are trying to, and I'm working on it too, girl. You're not the only one.
Well, I've done an open house, but it was for someone else that was going out of town. And I used her signs, for it was her open house. That thing there, going out, putting out those signs and where her house was, it was way off the main street. And I'm telling you, putting up those signs, that's a job.
Oh, yes.
That is a job. Getting in your car, because I didn't have anyone with me. That was my first one. I'm like, oh my God. And the way the house was and that neighborhood, it wasn't a sidewalk where it had any grass. It was all concrete. I had to even knock on some people's doors and say, do you mind if I put
Oh, that's nice of you.
well, yeah, I wasn't going to do it because I didn't want nobody calling Keller Williams saying, and then that was her name, her sign, calling and saying, why did your person put the sign on my corner of my house? You know what I'm saying? Because it was right at the corner of their property. So I had to. Well, I thought I should get permission because even though the arrows was that way, somebody might have thought maybe it was their house. That was my way of thinking, and they said it was okay. But that's a job.
Yes, it is. And in this heat, it's a struggle. The struggle is real.
It is really real.
And the one thing that I don't like about Antelope Valley is the winds. And if by the end of your open house, they're still standing, that's like a win for me. The fact that it's still there, because you constantly have to be checking them. But that is, for now, it's good for you to know, like, all aspects of it, and then later you just hire a kid to do it for you. Eventually. Eventually.
Yeah. Eventually, when I start.
First, we'll get you familiar with the process.
Yeah.
Okay, so your database is your business. Building up the number of names in it and the relationship with those names is really at the very core of what the building real estate business is all about. So we do realize that this is the center. And let's see, have you ever thought that your database is your business? It's the core. It's what makes us move. So what is the main job of a real estate agent?
Relationship. I don't know.
Help people out. If they want to sell or buy.
Francis? Sari? What is the main job of a real estate agent?
Help with the transaction.
Building your database, cultivating relationships, making relationships. Because if you don't make any relationships and nobody knows who you are, then you have no business. So with no database, you have no business, and the number of names in your database and relationships you build with the people will determine the success that you have. So you'll learn today how you feel and care, how you feed, I'm sorry, and care for your database, and it will turn into a data bank, which is able to draw business into you. So you got to have like a source too. That's what I'm saying. You'll find your niche as you guys develop your careers. You'll see what works for you. Some people, I know Marvin still does mailers, and some people have drawn away from that. Some people do Facebook ads. Um, some do Instagram ads. Some just use their page and boost their sales and generate that, or they've worked through their referrals. So we'll get to that. So let's see. So in the previous section of lead generation, you got the first taste of what database is talked about in a few ways to add people to your database as you move through the day. Today we will go deep into how to bring new, repeat, and referral business from your database. First, we will start with getting a look of the big picture of what a database is and why you should use one in your business. So any questions before we start? No? Okay. So your database is the container that holds the contact information of all your leads and contacts. We will distinguish people differently based on the permissions you have to connect with them. So a lead are people who are express interest in a service or offering of yours from social media, marketing platforms, your website, or word of mouth. So leads is just like when you get a line of people on your open house. So we have cold leads, warm leads, and so on. But then you have your contacts, which are people that you have a relationship with, that you know them and you have permission to engage in a communication with them, people who make up your sphere of influence with your considered contacts. So many top agents have a successful business working their sphere of influence, and you can too. So what would you consider your sphere?
Friends, family, coworkers.
Okay.
Your church where you go to, those are people you know, any social group that you're affiliated with.
Okay, that's a good one because I had an agent where he felt shy to tell people at church because he's like, well, I'm here to serve, and praise the Lord, but and he was kind of hesitant to tell people, and I said, as long as they know you, oh, Wendy, she's a realtor. That's it. As long as they just match 2 to 2, they'll come. The business will come. But he was afraid to kind of let them know, and he was hiding. And I said, we're not secret agents. You got to get out there. You don't, shove it down their throat, but you just make it a point. Because you will always ask people, you want to know who's around you at church, right? Like, oh, so what do you do? So it will come up, but it's okay to say it.
In my position where I've been there for a little while, and because I have a relationship with my minister and his wife, and some of I told them, and they even mentioned it in service, and stuff. But still, even though, which I found out, even though it could be announced over the loudspeaker, okay?
Oh, what church you go to?
Well, Antelope Valley Christian Center. No, I'm giving an example. The example is that, and even at my Bible study, it was announced and everything. I'm in the red hat, even though it was announced there. People hear, but they're not listening, they're not passing it along. So just because it's been announced, you think that everybody is going to, when they need a house. No, they're still not. They hear you, but they're not really connecting with that. And I feel like I still have to say to people, oh, I got my, oh, and I know that they were there. And they go, oh, really? Like they're hearing it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's been announced and everything, you still got to, with individual people.
And that's part of cultivating.
Yeah. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. So This model is your participant guide. So will someone explain to me, using this model, where your database is represented? Oh, is lead generation, relationship, client, or referral loop?
Oh, you want me to like to explain the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so lead capture, basically you're on call, right? Having a conversation, and then you're able to get their number. Right, and then once you get their number, you're gonna put it in your database, and then you're gonna put it either in your lead or in your contact. Lead is like, all right, they want to do business now. Contact is, all right, I have a good connection. They might want to do business with me later down the road. Then prepare contacts for conversation, which means either one of these columns, right, you have to take notes of what you guys talked about, right? Let's say for a lead, he wants to buy a house, 500,000 with a pool. So make sure you take note of that, because next time you call him, you have to remember, hey, did you still want to buy that house? That's about it. And then just repeat.
Mm-hmm. And touches. One thing that I still do, I do a number of things to cultivate, but one thing that people know me or my clients is I send magnets, calendars. So I touch them for Christmas cards, and then I do another touch in January. And there was one time that I got caught up traveling, and I was a little bit late, and they were calling me. They're like, "I still haven't gotten your calendar." I'm like, "It's coming." So they got used to it, to see it. So they'll that's another way to touch, yeah. So your database is about relationship management. The relationships you build and develop will grow your business through new, repeat, and referral business. Your database is key to your business and does a lot for you. The database keeps you organized so you can run your business effectively and efficiently. A database keeps a comprehensive record of communication and relationship through a systemized communication. Database helps automate other tasks, while maintained database holds value and can be sold if you choose to retire or close the business. Did you realize that? That if you move to another state or you just quit, you can literally sell your database to another agent.
And what's the, if you did do that, what is is it a set value or is it
No, you
up to
negotiate it.
you negotiate?
Depending on how long it's been cultivated, how many are in there too, how many are strong. Because you can go to do a raffle at a fair and pick up 1,000 leads, but are they all genuine leads? Are they all strong leads? Are they new leads? It depends. And that's where you just, connect with the agent. I've seen it anywhere 5, 10, 20,000, depending on how big it is. Yeah.
And I guess those clients that you have in the database that are repeat clients, those are probably would represent a certain amount, a certain amount of commissions or a certain amount of money that could be regenerated later on
From your repeat?
from the
Your repeat, yeah.
repeat.
Because that one will give you referrals. It's like a
Exactly.
tree. Like, it just keeps expanding and expanding. You end up helping the cousins and the cousins' cousins, third cousins. So it's helpful. But an organized and smart database sure beats a notepad, names, and sticky notes, other than a non-automated system. So you know how you were saying you need to get acquainted with computers? This will be it. Gary Keller, do any of you know where he kept his database? Gary Keller kept them in those index cards, those flashcards, and he had them written.
Are you talking about like the old file stuff?
Not a Rolodex.
Not a Rolodex.
Not a Rolodex. He just had them filed with those flashcards.
Yeah.
That's how he kept his database, in a shoebox.
Oh, okay.
But he knew exactly who he touched and how many times, and on there he had noted. So we've come a long way from that.
So that was before command. That's old school.
That was way in the beginning.
That's old school. I relate.
We have, yes, we have. There's top producers. There's many, but I know Command is the most up to date. I think most of us like how the system is. But you have Lion's Desk. You have Top Producers. Top Producers old. It's been around for a while. Some agents still use it. But it's good to have an online source so that you can make notes and cultivate on there and keep track of them versus writing them down because you will lose them. So let's see. Your integrated end-to-end Keller Cloud platform for running and growing your business. So have any of you already gotten acquainted with Command already? Y'all been trained on it?
Yes,
Yes.
we'll learn.
No? Francis? You good with computers? You're good with computers?
Not so good. My daughter is helping me. She was telling me, Mom, because in the other office we did a video saying that I was coming back, and she told me it was nice, Mom, but I think you need to do something better. I was like, oh, she was only 13. Now she was telling me you can do this, and she was showing me some of her videos. I was like, oh, nice. This is good.
She does her own editing?
Yeah. So she likes to draw. So she was
Oh,
showing
good.
me. Yeah.
That's all you need. How old is your daughter?
She's 14 now.
That's all you
Oh, my
need.
God.
Yes.
She'll record, edit, do all the.
Yes. I told her, you know what, we're gonna start doing this.
Yes.
Yeah, it worked out. So.
Oh,
She's
good.
got to stand there and she'll do everything.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what she told me.
That's good. So Command is a database of names, contact information, like your contacts in your phone, with a lot of information. Your goal tracker is you enter your goals for yourself for the month and year, and it will track your activities, conversation rates, and projected income. Task Manager is to track all of the things you are committed to completing in the lead generation and transaction management. Marketing suite of newsletters, postcards, and other mailers, presentations, and social media posts. Referral network to connect with agents anywhere to give and receive referral client leads. Command is ever evolving too. This is a great time for you. It's a great time to remind you to take on a demand series called Command in Your Business to connect and refer back to Ignite. Refer reference guides, step-by-step instructions on building your business. So the 4 laws of database. We build, communicate, feed, and service. So do you know why using a database, remember it's your database, it's your business. Let's talk about how we'll make this happen with the 4 laws of your database to and your business to thrive. So the 4 laws is building, and you build it by
Putting in as many people as possible from
being
open houses or door knocking or anyone you meet in the store that you get the information on.
that'll be feeding it. And how do you feed it?
Continuously prospect, cold calling, door knocking.
Who's in cold calling already?
Actually, I didn't like to do cold calling, and so I'm still working on that part, on the cold calling. One of the things that really that I feel kept me from calling is the fact that, well, I don't know if they're in the do not call registry. How do I find out and things like that. And I try to find out, but there is a limit as to, from what I know, I had a limit as to how many people I could confirm or verify if they were or not.
Have you converted any of your cold call leads?
I'm sorry?
Have you converted any of your cold call leads?
Converted, no. I'm still talking to them, quite a few, but they haven't done anything yet. There's one in particular that I did a listing presentation on, but he decided that he was going to wait, and he's traveling right now through the United States. But I keep him updated as to what his property, the value and what the activity in the neighborhood and things like that.
Good. So you're doing law 3. You're communicating
Yeah.
systematically with them, and then we service all of our leads.
Right.
So before we move on, do we have any big ahas that you've just learned? was your aha?
Well, I already knew it. It's just doing it. just just doing it and consistently, you know. And
That's your moneymaker. If you don't know what to do that. Is follow up on anybody or anyone, or let me send this to you, or I'm very random, but I just go by, I don't know, maybe because I'm used to it already. I go by impulse on certain ones. I try not to overwhelm the client either, but I'll be like, hey, I saw this, thinking of you. What do you think, or what are your thoughts? And even when they say no, they're not interested, but eventually they reached out for a reason, or you connected for a reason, and so you just kind of keep them interested, keep them latched on. Sometimes they'll straight out tell you no, but that's part of our industry, right? So in
I'm
today's
learning that.
hmm?
I'm learning that. And you can't take it as personal as rejecting you. You know, I have to learn that. It's as they used to say, it's not personal. But no, I'm not
It's
interested.
business, not personal.
It's,
Yeah, no, and you'll come across some people that you just don't connect. That's the beauty of our industry, is that we're all different. And so they might connect with you, but they might not connect with me. And, and that's why I don't really tie down clients. If they don't wish to continue, okay. I give them time to marinate before, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But yeah, you'll hear plenty of no's before you get a yes. But that's the part of business.
yeah.
And those no's are not definitely because they are not ready yet, but who knows in the future.
Mhm.
So those no's is not, it's just for the present. That's what I always tell people that I hate. I never do cold calling. I'm a very outspoken person. I don't know why, but I prefer face to face.
Yeah.
I prefer people to see that they can trust me and see them as, yeah, I want to work with them. Because it's not that there are people that want to work with you, but you want to work with them.
Mhm.
So there is people that I choose not to work with them, and I refer them. But when you see the person, you can feel you wanna be able to connect with them or not. Through a phone call, I don't see that connection. It's weird.
And don't be afraid to referral out, like she said, refer them out. You still make some money,
Mhm.
but always be open-minded to that too, because sometimes you just let them go. Like, okay, let me refer you to someone that can help you.
Yeah. And I don't tell them that I'm gonna refer them, especially they are close relations. I have a close relationship with them. I tell them, I really want to help you, but I know the best way I can offer the service that you deserve is in my team member or my coworker or my friend help us through the process. So, because right now I am overwhelmed and I don't want to discourage or, ¿cómo se dice? No darte el servicio que mereces.
Word it? Say
No
it.
darte el servicio que tú mereces.
No el servicio que tú te mereces.
Ajá.
It's not the service that you deserve.
Ajá. So, and I told them that we work together. Even if it's just a referral, but they don't feel that way.
That's nice of you. And that's why how long have you been in the business, Gloria?
With the license? With license?
I mean,
19 years on real estate and on the industry 21.
21 years.
Yes,
Wow.
because I started like a loan processor.
Oh,
Yeah, I started processing loans in
But as a realtor,
19 years.
19.
Yes, next year gonna be 20.
Wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I
And
started.
even then, you see how different real estate has evolved
Oh.
from when you started to how it is now. But I feel like it's so much easier because you get more exposure than
Yeah,
now.
it's so much. For me, from being a housewife to jump on the industry as a realtor, I was like amazed.
still use fax.
Yeah.
And people still ask for it. I'm like, from where? Because I don't think we have machines anymore. Where does it land? Okay, so let's continue. So turn to your build your database page with your participant in your participant guide. So we're going to start with the first law. The first law is to build your database. So you've already started doing this during your Ignite through the phone calls and that you've been making conversations and that you've been having. Another success system activities. And of course, we recommend Command as your database because it's available at no extra cost and is powerful and ever evolving. Who's using Command, or are you using a different platform? Everyone's using Command?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. So let's see. So the first names to put in your database are your sphere of influence, the people you thought about in your session 5, your family and friends and coworkers, people you encounter regularly. There are basic set of information that you're gathering from each person, and the most basic level, each contact in your database should have your name, contact information, and any past record or business if there's any. There are several ways to add the contacts to your command for the first time. So you go to KW and search for Ignite Reference Guide. So who else has maybe get to collect on your contacts? Who else may be good? So who else would you, besides your sphere, we talked about that. What else would be good to add to your contacts?
Your vendors, probably.
Your vendors.
Your vendors, because you can talk to them and they, for example, even the lenders, they may have people that they just want to know how much they can afford and something, but they really haven't, are not serious enough to look for anything. And then you may, depending on what your relationship with them is, you may get a referral.
Yes. So you're going to start building your core also, like your termite guys, your inspections, your inspectors. So when you start building that relationship with them, that's another sphere to ask for referrals because you're giving them clients, and so you also receive. So your lender also is a good source too to get referrals.
I'll even give my cards to my gardener.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So
Because
yeah.
you never know, they may be working on somebody's, property, and they hear that they're thinking about, the comment about thinking about selling or something, so.
I've even been in Walmart checking out, and I had my badge on, and the one that was checking me out, she said, "I knew you was important," and then I said, "Oh, okay," and we just started talking. So then I just gave her my card. I said, "If you are thinking about buying or know someone, here's my card." And she was like, "Okay." So I don't usually do it because I thought maybe they'd be kind of offended in the store, but she wasn't.
No, and like I said, we're not secret agents, and that badge we kind of fell off of it. Not many wear it, but it's a moneymaker because they'll know. Oh, people. It catches people's eyes,
Yeah.
and it's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Free
And
marketing.
Yeah.
like I said, don't underestimate any person, because even the person who sells raspados on the street or elotes on the street,
Even like the vendors from the vendors that you see on the streets.
yeah, share your business card with them because they may know somebody,
Yeah.
or maybe they already have enough savings and they are ready to buy.
They usually have a lot of cash.
And they have a lot of cash. Them ice cream trucks? They be having a lot of money. Gardeners, you'd be surprised. Sometimes you'll have this is an old story where this man that was suited came into the office. Not this office, it's just a story. And he couldn't buy, but he looked the part. And then another man in a white T-shirt and ripped jeans, dirty, full of paint, walks in and he says, "I want to buy a house." And the agent didn't take him seriously because of how he looked. And he said, "Okay." So he did say, "I found a house." Okay. So they went to the next step, and he's like, "Well, how do you plan on buying it?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't plan on lending." He's like, "I'm paying it cash." So when she said, "Don't underestimate," because you just never know. during COVID, I realized that there's money everywhere. Sometimes we are just, it's relative. It's where you are, where we live in a box, that's all you see, right? But when everybody else was saying that there was no money, and people, I'm sure there was families that were struggling, but during that season, I don't know where people were coming up with money, but there was money everywhere.
I
Yeah.
remember on 2008, no, 2010, I just joined this company, and it was the time that Keller Williams, so this market center, paid for the listings of the agents to advertise in a magazine, real estate magazine. So this client got my number for that magazine because she seen my last name as Spanish, so she she called the office and asked for me. So she said, I want to buy a house in Pandel. Okay, when you have a time to come by and so we can see what you're looking for. And we scheduled the appointment. She came and I asked him, are you planning to finance or to pay in cash? It was a phone call, so I didn't see her. So she said, we're gonna pay in cash. Okay, if you are ready to buy, I recommend you to bring your bank statement because we're gonna need it if you want to put an offer on one of the properties. To make a story short, she was been looking for a property for 4 months. Every agent that she met previously never go with her to show her properties, always give her a list because the way that she was so humble in the way that she dressed, nobody think that she have the cash to buy. So I just have to go out one time. She find the property that she likes. We put an offer. We went to a stop. 2 weeks later, she got a home. And she said, you are
Nice.
the only one who was willing to put the time and show me the properties.
Very nice.
Nice, nice job.
Yeah.
So, other than the name and the contact, other sources that is good to jot down with these leads or your contacts is like birthdays or the kid's birthday or their house anniversary or something that else that's meaningful than just the name. So that way they'll be like, oh, even though they're not buying anything, but at least you send an email out, happy birthday. They remember you. The point is for them to remember that the minute they think real estate, they think of you.
The sports they like, I think, because sometimes
The what, I'm sorry?
the sports they like.
Yeah,
We
that
can
too.
talk about that.
Like at closings, I do that. I as I'm getting to know them, I'll get them something that has to do with what they like, whether the husband's into football or the wife is into like interior decorating or something that will I like that you paid attention. Okay, so let's see. We did that. So now build your database. So we enter the contacts manually, either in Command or the Command app. We sync the contacts. So who synced already their contacts into Command?
From my phone,
You did from your phone? Okay, good.
Did from the phone, and like I said, trying to update it and plus adding on other contacts.
Okay, good. So you're getting the hang of it.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
I
With
just
the
wonder.
non-self.
I just wonder, isn't there a way that we can synchronize our contacts on the phone that when you save a number, it automatically back up on the command?
You mean transfer from the phone
That's a good
to
question for
command?
Mondo.
No, that like
Yeah,
like
if it syncs it right away.
yes,
Oh, I see.
synchronizes.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Check it, Amanda.
So we'll ask.
I'm gonna ask Amanda.
That would save us a lot of time if they could do that.
Yes, that's a good idea.
But we can easily add personal details to each contact to have the ability to add any notes. So let's see. Let's practice entering one contact into Command. Everyone head to your Command homepage. Do you guys have it on your phones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine won't do it.
No?
On my phone, they said my phone screen was
Too small? Oh, Mondo's mic.
Is me?
No, it's on.
I heard you say that's a question for Mondo. That's why.
Oh, we did.
So he wanted to know the question.
Mondo, you still there? We'll see if he comes back. Okay. So does anybody have any trouble adding into command?
I know now how to add them in.
You gotten used to
Yeah,
it?
I know
Okay.
now how to add them in.
Okay, good.
Learning how to delete too.
So it has simple. So it has help if you guys need any help with it.
Well, I don't mean delete. You're right.
Archive it.
Archive. Yes.
So the question was, if you have a contact and you know how we sync it with our phones?
Contacts.
When you sync command with our
When you
contacts from
import
our
the
phones?
contacts in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it changes on their phone, let's say they change the phone number,
No.
will it sync?
Anything moved into command has to be manually updated yourself. Yeah, I wish it would sync, but no. You need to go through that. I know, I heard that. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to miss it. Gotcha.
Thank you, Mondo.
You got it.
Any ahas so far?
For me, the aha is like I know that I see new faces here in the office, and I don't know if they are new, they come from different companies. However, command, everybody start with command as a database system. You're gonna save yourself a lot of headaches on the future because you're gonna establish building your business because the database is your business. And it's gonna be easy to control and track where to add, what is your conversion numbers, how many transactions that you close out of your database, how many transactions that you close by referral. So it's gonna be easy to track your numbers and know where is your strong area. Because for me, my strong area are my database, my clients, my past clients. I get more business out of them than the open houses. So go with command and track your database so your results on there, it's gonna give you an insight.
So you just took us to law number 2, which is feed your database. Prospecting. So you get it from your referrals.
Yes.
That's one way to feed it.
Yes.
You ask for the referrals. They even have stickers that says, I love referrals. So put it anywhere.
Say what?
When you do like any cars or anything, there's even like little stickers that say, I love referrals.
Oh.
So
Where do you get those?
Amazon. There's a lot of good things on Amazon.
Oh.
Something
But
like
what does feed what does feed your database mean to you?
adding more people.
Source it, yes. So this law is about adding people to your database, as we discussed. You add all the people you know, your sphere of influence, and the people you encounter regularly. This is also your dentist, your children's teachers, your coworkers, people that you know in your neighborhood. The rest of your feed comes from what? Lead generating. So that'll be like open houses, cold calling, door knocking. I don't like it. I never have. I don't know. I tried it and it wasn't for me. But everybody will find, you'll find your niche. What is it that you're good at? Like open houses, I'm the open house queen. And there's some people that don't like that because they don't know what to say. And I'm like, no, if I know you're coming to me, I'll sell you.
Now, with me, when I go to the doctor for an appointment, I hate going. So, but I have a rapport with the doctor, and I update her on what I'm doing in my life. So I even give them a car.
You never know where you're
What
gonna
about
end
the
up.
patients
Good.
in the waiting room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Look at your phone and say, oh my gosh, I have an appointment with a client. I don't know you're gonna be. By the way, I central estate. Here's my business card.
You know there's agents that do that. I've seen it.
I do
The
that.
funniest thing is I saw this agent. I was at the beach in Malibu, and there was this suited guy just walking and just talking on his phone about real estate stuff. And I look at my cousin and I'm like, really? Like, does that work? I'm sure it works if he's doing it.
Yeah.
But he's all suited up, walking in the sand, talking on the phone. At the
I'm
beach.
about my business.
I'm like, okay then.
You know how people
That's another
walk
source. People get creative.
in the
Suited up in
supermarket.
sand. What are you gonna do? Walk barefoot in the sand? How do you? Oh my! He was with shoes.
Mhm.
In
Yep.
the supermarket, people are always walking down the aisles talking,
Oh,
with
yeah.
family or whoever. You can do the same thing. It's like, you know what? Yeah, we need to get that house in the escrow right away. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I did that. I needed to go grocery shopping and I had an open house. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go pass out some of my open house flyers at the grocery store while I'm shopping. And I did that. I walked around Bonds and it was pretty packed that day. And I was like, here, come to my open house.
Anything that, like, any opportunity that you have, to market yourself, even T-shirts, doesn't have to have the whole realtor, but maybe just KW or realtor, and they'll ask you, just something. My license plates. So mom has the same one, sort of. Hers says broker Q for Quijano, and we get asked when at the gas station. They're like, "What is your?" It's like, "Oh, so are you in real estate? What kind of broker are you?" Is what they ask me usually. And so I'm like, not a stockbroker, that's for sure. Um, and so it starts a conversation. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, here, by the way, here's my card. Here's my information. If you ever need it, and you go from there. Yeah. So another trick that I've been using too is when I don't have cards and I feel bad, but I have like a digital, not digital, but like whenever I send text to show property, you know how they say send your information, so I send a copy of the business card. So when I don't have it, I just tell the client, or the person, I don't have any cards, but I'll send it to you. And right away it gives me their phone number.
Yeah.
It gets them to, like, just without them thinking, they're like, oh yeah, here's my number, and then I send them the card. So I've even encountered people while I'm showing houses with like, oh, you're a real estate agent? Oh, I just had a question, and I'm like, sure, here's my card, and they reach out, and then that's another person to add to the list. So building your database can accomplish economically by asking everyone you know who they know and how they benefit from your services or what they immediate real estate need. You learned earlier that many top agents run highly productive businesses based solely on their sphere. You see, your sphere is your source of new and repeat and referral business. Remember that this was the client referral loop for the database model. So new business comes when someone in your sphere begins thinking about buying or selling, and they think of you. So repeat business comes from clients you've helped in the past who were so pleased with your service and experience you provided that they ask you again. So referral business comes from clients that you have used. Has anyone, so I know some of you guys are new, has anyone already closed anything? Have they closed their first deal yet?
Yeah.
Did you ask for referrals?
Yes. Mine was an investment. The one that I closed. It was.
That was your first deal?
That was my first deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was another source to
Uh-huh.
keep in contact with them.
Yes.
So let's see. So we talked about the sphere that referred to you. We talked about your neighbors, and so how you ensure that this sphere will refer you.
You ask for it.
You ask for it.
And by providing excellent service.
Selling yourself.
And ask for a testimony.
Reviews. That's another one.
Oh, I got a review too from him too.
That's a good one.
He
How was your review?
reviewed me on Yelp.
Did he? You're on Yelp? Okay. Yelp and Google also.
And
you can do referrals.
And he gave me an awesome review. I was like, thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you can like copy and paste that and blast it.
Yeah.
On your social media.
Oh, you're right.
And thanking him. Did you thank him?
Yes.
And then everybody has their niche. Like they'll send thank you cards. Some people will send like a $5 Starbucks card or a scratcher. So just something of value that they'll remember you by.
Right.
what I notice right now is the perception of the customers is changing back to the more personal level. It was a time that referrals it was so important, and then reviews started going along. However, a lot of people have been having bad experience with people that just get through the social media based on the referrals. They didn't have a good experience, so now they're switching back to referral by mouth for a client, a friend, or family member. So that's so important for us. Not just depends on the referral, on the reviews, but gives a good service to our clients. So we have a both back it up because a lot of people have a lot of good reviews, but those reviews are for their friends that never did business with them.
Yeah. Service, pretty much you and bringing the quality of service is what will make you memorable, and they'll remember you by it versus it being like a nightmare deal. You know, there's things that happen in real estate that are unpredictable, but as long as you keep them, you know, cool, and at the end it's like, hey, we got through it, and they're still excited with the purchase, they'll remember you by the little things that you did for them. Okay, so our next one, I think we're here. Oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Testimonials and reviews.
Yeah, I had ironworks business, and those reviews are everything. You know what I mean? Over 200 5-star reviews, so they're not friends. It just you got to build that book of business, you know, and you ask for those reviews for sure.
What sources are you guys using for reviews?
Google and Realtor.com.
What other one?
Realtor.com.
Oh, Realtor.com. Anybody uses Zillow? Because you could have an agent profile on there.
Yeah, I have a profile, but this is the thing. If you don't pay them, they don't promote you. You need to have an account with them, pay for links, so they can promote you on Zillow.
But even if they don't, if you can still send the link out and still get the review, and then you can post that review in other platforms like your social media.
I see Zillow as my enemy, so that's why I don't use this platform.
And also, it's all about the SEO. As long as your SEO, like, it's not really, they don't really have control over that in a sense. It's more that SEO. If you have the SEO, like, on point, your page should be like, so basically, I never paid for, as far as, like, we'll go Yelp, right? So I never paid for any of my Yelp, but my SEO was on point. So, like, I was the first company that showed after all the people that paid for their, and usually people, you scroll through like, oh, paid, sponsored ads, you know what I mean? And I was the first company that showed because I was constantly updating my SEO.
How do you update SEO?
And so there, whichever platform that you're using, it'll show there's specific, it says SEO, like it specifically says it. So then you go through and you have to update it and put the correct verbiage in there to make sure that like you're number one. So when people are searching and say they search for this word and not that, like you're number one.
What does that stand for?
SEO is
Search engine.
search engine optimization. So
Search.
engine optimization. So basically what it does is any verbiage that your client is searching for, it pops up. So it's more than just making the profile. You kind of have to work it out.
Yes. Not many people know how to use that, so you get it. Do you do it, or you have someone that does it?
I do it. I did it. I built that business from like the ground up. So.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. You need to teach us how to do
You
it.
teach a tech class.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is your testimonials and reviews activity. So where areas of business and customer service could ask someone to provide a testimonial or review on. So we kind of discussed that already. Examples would be responsiveness, attention to detail, professionalism, empathy, clear communication. The clear communication is good and very important, but at the same time, be limited to what you do express to the client. Sometimes behind the scenes work may scare them, So just be very mindful of the little things that you say, what's important that they need to know. Of course, disclosure is our rules, right? But also know what to say and the timing of when to say it so that you don't, you know, scare them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But
what I
good
had to do with
communication
my
is very important.
I had one of those and I had
You have a story to tell. You want to share?
Uh, well, the sellers wanted, so my first deals were an investment property, and the sellers were asking for a 4-page disclosure on the buyers. So they literally want the guy's social security number, his work history, like, I mean, I'm talking like a huge job application, which is completely against any residential law space that, they can't ask for that. And I had to be very strategic and like kind of telling the sellers no, but I didn't want to tell my buyers what they were asking until like I did eventually tell my buyers, but I didn't want to scare my buyers. So I had to maneuver that relationship in a way where we were able to close the deal without scaring the buyers and not getting into like quote unquote like a litigation because the sellers were asking for some completely illegal stuff they couldn't ask for. So I had to like maneuver the whole relationship, but I eventually told the buyers, but yeah,
What'd you tell the sellers?
that it's against the law, that they can't
so-
ask that.
And what was the reason that they want that information?
They wanted they wanted my investor, they wanted his profile, they wanted to cut me out of any future deals and work with directly him.
Oh.
They wanted to create their investment profile. So basically what it is it was a nonprofit organization. So these nonprofits, they build their company profile and how much their company's worth based on how many investors they have, how many properties they have. So they wanted to put that investor profile in there to build up their company profits. Like so when they go to sell a property or show that hey it's worth this much, I can get this much of a loan. Like it shows value of their company.
Yeah. Is that the same thing that what you build in your database?
Yeah.
But yet you still got your review,
I still got my review. I still got a 5-star review.
which is good.
And it was a lot, but I had to maneuver that relationship. I had to really be careful with that relationship.
Now that you mentioned clear communication and the way that we deliver the information, when I was training my son, he is like extrovert, the reserve,
Introvert.
introvert. So he's too reserved, and so I say, okay, if you wanna make in the business, you have to be more social, and you have to make like a habit that every day communicate with client. If you don't have news, just tell, I just wanna say hi, so you don't forget me, and then we stay the same as yesterday. If it happen, I call you tomorrow. So here's I'm doing that. So when something bad happens, he delivers the information right away. And make them freak out. So I tell them, okay, yes, now let's take a step back. You have to deliver the information because they have the right to know what's going on in the file, but you don't deliver the information until you have a solution for it.
Yes. And
Yes.
that's what I had to do. I had to maneuver it. I had to get him because he only paid the deposit he did not pay a deposit yet. So we were getting towards that because he was just going to pay in full because it was an investment. So I literally had to call him and be like, look, you need to wire the money right now. Like right now we need to wire that money. And so after he wired the money is when I told him like, look, this is what happened because I knew that like I didn't want him to lose the deal. He got $300,000. Like, what was it like?
Did you disclose what was happening?
Yeah, I did. I ended up I ended up disclosing what was happening. Yes, but I had to like. I told him I was like, look, they're trying to cancel it. They're trying to cancel the escrow, so you need to wire the money. That's what I told him. I was like, just wire the money now. So if you want to make this deal work, and so they ended up doing it. And so afterwards, I ended up explaining to him like, look, they were asking for all your personal information, and that's what happened. And I told him no. So I mean, what do I do? You know what I mean? What was I supposed to do in that situation?
Well, you were protecting your client.
Yeah, and he had what was it like? So the house he had like 300,000. What is it when you pretty much much. Like once he fixes the house up, it was like 300,000 ARV or something like on top.
Equity.
On top of whatever, you know.
Yeah. Good.
So it was a good deal, but I was like, we need to do this now.
So for a quick exercise, I want you guys to write down 5 names of who you can get referrals, testimonies, or a review from. 5 minutes. I'm gonna go get some water. 5 names that you can get referrals, a review, or a testimony from.
How's everybody doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I think I did tell him on that phone call that they were asking for his like social security. Like I did, but I was very like I told him and then I explained it more in depth afterwards, you know. I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. This is what happened, you know.
Yeah. Their personal information is well, when they do their escrow instructions and stuff like that, you gotta be mindful and careful with that information. Are we all set?
Can you think of how many properties are sold? I didn't get a review. I didn't ask for review.
Okay. Can someone share their list?
I had Sandra Finley. I did sell her house here and help her buy in Nevada. Anne Brulé, actually she's looking into possibly selling. She's moving out of state. Maria and Lauren Caro. This is a family that I started selling their homes with their parents, grandparents, and help them sell theirs and buy a new one. Linda Olivares, I sold hers. And Kelly Hodgson helped her sister buy the house that she's living in right now. And Brian and Patricia Wallers, these are my clients from East Palmdale that I sold their house.
Good. So those that wrote down a list, ask for those reviews after class. That's your homework, is to get those reviews. And then you can leverage by posting those reviews on your social platforms, or you can also use them as your listing presentation. Sometimes we forget about those, because that way your clients will also know whenever you leave your listing packet, it's good for them to know, hey, you know, who they've worked with. Any ahas before we go to the next law? Okay. So our third law, oh my bad. Our third law is to communicate with your database. In the previous session, you learned the importance of relationships in real estate and the different ways that you communicate with your database called touches. Communicating with your database is accomplished through touches, and you will pair those meaningful, relevant, and timely information. Can someone read that quote? Lorena.
To succeed at a high level in real estate sales, you must commit to frequent contact with the database with the intent of building close relationships.
So how long must you commit to building relationships?
Forever.
Forever.
Forever. That's from Sandlot. So 3, communicating. Oh, I got ahead of myself. So the way you communicate depends on whether it is your lead or your contact. And remember that in Ignite, we're focusing on the attention of relationship building and strengthening your contacts with your sphere, with those who you have permission in a two-way conversation. So what are some segments or categories that you might already naturally have in your database? As easy as a homeowner versus renters. How about those with children versus without? Have you classified your database?
I just classify it and I don't work too much with rentals, but buyer, seller, and investors.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also like first time buyer versus resale. That's another one.
It depends as well in which program. Sometimes we like put buyer and we categorize with another tags because they call it tags in command.
The what, I'm sorry?
Tag.
Tax?
Tags.
Oh, tags.
Yeah, con GS.
See.
So yeah, we put it like depends on the program that we're working with that particular buyer. Or depends on the seller if they gonna gonna sell contingency too, or if they wanna buy or wanna move out of the state. So yes, we use
Tags for each one. That helps you to keep track of them when you talk to them. Do you guys record so when you talk to a lead, do you keep track of the conversations? Do you guys record, make notes of what you've said and what the status is? Or you just call and they check off?
no. I take a notes and put a follow up. Yeah, I have to follow up with them.
So you leave reminders? Okay.
Yeah, sometimes, well, usually what I do is, if I have not been able to get in touch with them and I have their email address, I will go through command, I will send an email. But right now, the email won't transfer completely. So what I do is before I send it, I copy and paste it in my notes, the email that I sent. And
Oh.
then I send the email. So then once I have that and I go to my timeline, then AI will do the summary after the 5 notes. It will do the summary so I'll know what I sent before and what I've done in terms of follow-up and things like that.
Oh, good.
So I like to keep the email that I sent through command right there.
Oh, good. That's good because that way you remember what was the last thing you said.
Yeah.
If they don't
Yeah, I've gone too
open it
fast
or
a couple
respond.
of times and I thought, oh, I know I sent an email, but I don't remember what I told.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Yeah.
The only thing with command is I do a lot of cold calling, and so when I go, excuse me, when I go to run the report, I put the notes in that I called this person, and it's great because the AI after like 5 touches on there, it does like this AI summary of like what you guys have spoke with. So it creates this little paragraph, which is great. But then when I go to run the report, it doesn't show my phone calls that I'm manually entering. So I don't know. I talked to, I think we opened like a ticket for it, but just the only problem is that I can't see how many calls I've made,
system that you're using?
On command.
Oh, on command.
You can't, there's no way to run a report on how many calls. Your emails, yeah, but when you actually go to run a report, it goes to Twilio, which connects to like this text messaging, and I'm like, I'm not even using the text messaging, I'm just calling, and I'm logging my activity, but the activity I can't run the report on. So,
Who's using AI or Chat GPT?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's a good tool to guide you on what to say, send formal letters, and things like that. So most people are not really using it, but it comes in handy. So that would be a tool to get familiar with it, play, you know, ask it questions. It will help. Have you been using it, Owen? He's like, of course, that's my lifeline. So since people are more likely to respond when the information you send and communicate directly impacts them, it's more important to purposely segment your database to target the message that appeals to them. Keep in mind that this is not set in stone. It is flexible and will change as your database and your relationships grow and develop. People may belong in multiple segments of your database that is perfectly acceptable. So we were talking about, you have them classified as past clients, new client. So I knew one agent that he classifies his through A, B, C, and D clients. So he'll have his A's that were like absolutely amazing clients, his B's that were like C's, and then he'll have his D's where it's like, I will never work with you again. So that's how he has his broken down.
oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So let's see. So we talked about this different ways already. We discussed that. And so like in here, you have your VIP, so you can remember different tags on how to categorize them, such as like the VIP, golf, a military investor, referral dog lovers. That's always helpful. So for like my client, she loves cats. So for Mother's Day, I sent her a cat mom card. And so she was kind of shocked. She's like, oh my gosh. And I didn't know they make these. I'm like, well, now people are having pets than kids. So there's dog moms. So
Yeah. Now I am a grandma.
you're a grandma?
Yeah, my son call every time that her kids dog doesn't behave. He says, I'm gonna call grandma on you, okay?
Oh, that's cute. So messaging to the segment should be relevant of likes, dislikes, interest, or based on past interactions with you. So even though the words, the topics of your messaging will change, there's some things that will remain consistent no matter what the segment you are communicating with, your messaging. So matches the motivation of the segment and covers if they're able, ready, willing, and the time frame that they're looking for to do business includes the call of action. Elicits an immediate response, tells the person receiving the message how to contact you, helps the clients know why they would choose to contact you in the current market, and what they get if they do. So your messaging needs a method, a way to be communicated. When communicating with your database, this will come from the targeted marketing, as known as your touch campaigns, which will dig deep into your lead follow-up segment. So we discussed this. So communicating with value. So we'll dig deeper in the upcoming sessions of both 19 to connect, 11 and 36 to convert. Now let's brainstorm the items of value. So when you communicate, regardless of the message, segment, or touch, you always pair the communication with a value. So refer to the participants. Let me see. So some items of value may be market tactics, seasonal prep checklist for homeowners, real estate forecasting data, schedule events and festivals. So kind of knowing where they at and what kind of information to send them. So spring, I usually will send a clean spring cleaning. I'll send a letter for back to school for those that have kids. So knowing what and what groups you have them in. Think of things that you may also been a recipient of the past of things that you would like to receive. Okay, so anybody want to mention, let's see, mention, if not bring up. So other events or other places that you can go to connect would be, um, we talked about your vendors list, and you can also send them um, the homestead exemption and also local events. So always have like a thing of value. There's always something you could send them.
Yeah.
But your vendors list is always comes in handy. But then you like a termite guy or a handyman or a
My,
plumber.
yeah, one of my neighbors called me a couple of weeks ago and she said, hey, Clara, I'm thinking about doing something in my kitchen. I don't want to do too much. I just want, maybe kind of, uh, freshen up my cabinets and things like that. Do you know anybody? I said, yeah, sure. So, at least they know that they can think of me about referring them someone that they can trust because they trust in my judgment. So.
Also, like as events keep are approaching, for example, the AV Fair, whenever that's coming up, that's a good thing of value to send them. The Poppy Festival, like be familiar with what's going on in the city. So when you do have open houses, and we get a lot of a lot of clients that come from the valley and they don't know Antelope Valley. So when you say, laundry list of things that's happening here, um, a lot of questions that I've encountered is what's going on with the freeways. So I let them know what's going on with the freeways. So I took that information and sent it to my sphere and my database, letting them know, hey, coming soon, this is what's happening. And then they revert back and they say, oh, I didn't know that's why the freeway was or under construction. What's going on? So do you guys know why the 14 is a mess right now?
No.
Are they doing like a train? Or like a bullet train? Or no?
No. Yes, but no. That's not the reason why the 14 is under construction. They are building a dry fleet in Mojave.
Oh, what?
A dry fleet. So you know the containers that are stored in, I think it's Long Beach? That's a wet fleet. You know the huge containers,
Oh,
the
like
shipments
cargoes?
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah.
shipments?
Is it gonna be like a point of distribution?
Oh, a port.
It's a port, but it's
Yeah.
called the dry fleet.
It's a terminal, yeah.
And it's in Mojave. I think it's like 300 or
fleet?
something acres. Dry fleet. If you guys look it up, Mojave
So they're
dry
going to be
fleet,
driving
it was,
those through the 14
yeah.
in a separate lane, like that they can't get into our lanes,
I
or
know,
are
right?
we going to be like?
So
I think
now
that's why they're
we're
making
gonna
it
have
like
trailers.
3 or 4 lanes. But that's the reason why it's expanding.
Oh gosh, I hate those 18-wheelers. They drive like crap, dude.
Last
And
October,
they throw rocks at your car.
last October, because I worked at Hadassah Medical Group, I helped promote the Senior Expo. So I went with Virginia Diaz, and I went, since I'm certified for probate. So we went and we took we had a table over at the expo, and to pass around information about probate and about trust and things like that. And it was pretty successful. It's particularly since we didn't realize that we had the very first table as you come in.
Oh,
So
that was a good one.
everybody that came in into the expo went by, and we ran out of material really soon. But it's a pretty good place to go, and particularly for seniors, they may be empty nesters, they may be, so that.
You didn't get any like you didn't do something to get their information?
Yes, yeah. We had, actually, I had,
Like a
again,
raffle?
material about trust and about the calendar from one of the lawyer firms here. They do seminars on trust. And I have the material for probate to explain what it is. If they don't have a trust, what's going to happen. And so we got the information, their name, their phone number, their email address, and we did a raffle.
Okay, good.
So we were able to get all that information from them. Then afterwards, we did the drawing, and then we went to the different. We
those are leads.
They're all, yeah, and they are in my database.
Good. So setting touches through your smart plans in command and use the designs for direct mail and social media campaigns. If you don't know what to post, post something. It's always good to post at least, they say 3 posts a day, something like that, to stay afloat. I know it's a lot, but anything that that's connected to real estate. But in command they have a lot of social media posts too that you can use.
The public libraries, they host a lot of events through the week, especially now in summer. The local parks, they have a lot of programs. They call it Park After Night. So most of the parks here on the Alto Valley, they have programs. So if we have clients, we can post those information for, it's a free event.
That would be a good information of value. So let's see. So do you see how your database becomes a data bank when you continually communicate matters of importance to the recipients? What naturally happens as your database or you build your relationship and continually show value. So people will choose to do business with you as you continuously connect with them, right? So you've initially wasted your time lead generating and putting your contacts in your database because there's no guarantee that people will think of you when they have a real estate lead. In other words, your database will not be a data bank if you don't cultivate it. Most communication you can make in a personal phone call. Each person in your database gets 4 calls a year, once a quarter. That's reasonable. So how many touches do you guys do with your database so far? Do you guys touch them every month?
Yeah. And with the smart plans, it's easier to do the touches.
Okay.
It depends. Like when it's a new client or a new lead, it's important to like at least once a week. If they express interest in buying or selling, always have a reason to follow up with them.
Some don't answer their phones, but texting has always been a thing.
Yeah. Like yesterday, I got these people coming to my open house. They have a mobile home. They wanna sell and they wanna buy. So I told them, okay, it gonna depends your mobile home is registered on title, you may not consider a first-time home buyer. But if the property is only registered on the housing urban development, and then you can buy as a first-time home buyer. So now the reason to call them back is for me to provide that information. If the property is on title, or if the property is only registered on the housing urban development.
Oh, good.
So
That's a touch.
that's a touch. So always find a reason why to call them back. Find a reason.
And there's plenty of things. You guys can make up anything.
Yeah, because
Like client appreciation, so you send them a thank you card. Or Happy Mother's Day, if you don't know, if you didn't capture like their birthdays or stuff like that. We have plenty of events during the year, right? Memorial Day, if they're veterans, Labor Day, summer fun, or anything to touch.
like I can get the information right away, right there in there, but I choose not to because I want a reason to keep in touch.
Yeah. Any aha so far in this last segment?
Just communicate.
Don't forget them.
That's the main thing is doing it. Communicating and doing it, yeah. And we get distracted easily, but
Take action.
a lot of this is like we don't reinvent the wheel. This is the same thing. The only thing that changes is the systems. Now everything is social media. We didn't do social media before. Before was mailers, postcards, which some agents still do. You still have people that actually open their mail. So, but it's still the same concept. So the The final law is to service all the leads that come your way. This will come in the form of a strong lead follow-up program, which you will get on a 10-day of Ignite. Since you'll be getting all the details then, today you will get started on the basics. Sarah, you want to read the quote?
Your job is to build a community and serve the community.
Gary Keller. A database is not only a container of information, but it's literally your business. Gary Keller thinks of it, my job is to connect with you, put you in my database, and be your realtor for life. And that's ultimately the goal, where you start selling to the parents, and then to the children's, and then to the children's children. And then you know you've been in the business a while when your clients, like, they start going to heaven. So, where you're like, dang, you realize, like, you become sometimes part of their family because you've seen the kids grow along the way. And that's beautiful to see. If you stay in contact with these people, and as your career develops, you'll see that. Let's see. So law 4 is servicing all your leads is a big part of building your community. So, let's see. So, why do you think it is important to provide service to all leads?
To me, it helps me. It helps me know where my business is coming from.
Good.
And it reminds you, like, so you're not asking the same stuff over and over again, right? So you got to service, well, putting the notes in and servicing them while you're going through it, goes hand in hand, I think.
It is a referral to know where the clients that give you more referrals and how to categorize to client A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm. Owen, what do you think?
Everyone's different, so you have to cater to their personal life. That's about it.
But why is it important to service all of your leads? So not just some.
Also, you have a big database.
Mm-hmm. As you grow and you start building, why is it good to service all of them?
So you just have a big database, I guess. That's what I'm taking it from.
So it's good to service them because you never know who they know,
Oh,
and that's how the chain will start. Because you could talk to me, but I might not be interested, but you continually talk to me. But when I remember real estate, I remember Owen. But I can have a friend from work that's talking about real estate and say, you know what, this guy keeps sending me stuff. You might want to try him. You just never know.
yeah.
And that's how it develops. There's enough business for everybody. So don't feel like, oh, there's too many realtors, and so someone already talked to them or someone already sent them information. It's a facade. There's enough business to go around. But it also depends on where you cultivate them. So it's good to service all of them, even though you're like, oh, this person might not be ready for another 2 years, or they just started their job, so they're not ready. But you just never know who they know. So they'll be helpful for you in the future. Um, Provide value in general through your real estate knowledge by volunteering information and following through on what you say and you will do. It is important to service all your leads so that you can know the source, whenever you point to the source. Knowing how the lead was generated is important for calculating your return of investment for your prospecting and marketing methods. So knowing that, okay, should I be doing Facebook ads, or should I be doing newspaper ads, or maybe an ad on the daily, I don't know, magazine. Maybe you're getting leads from there. That also helps you to monitor where the lead is mostly coming from so that you can invest in that. Versus like you're wasting money and you're not getting anything out of it. Track your relationship. So you will use your database to track your conversations and interactions related to the transaction and relationship that helps you ensure your customers and service they're converted into clients. Reward referrals. You follow up with a reward the client who referred the new lead. So on your referrals that you guys have gotten, what has been how do you reward them or thank them for the referrals?
Right now I'm gonna be giving a $500 referral credit back to
gift
So
cards,
you-
coffee cards. Um, those are always good to always send it because people will ask you also, what do you give for referral fee? And so that's always been a sensitive subject just because
Controversial.
of your, yeah, it's controversial just because we have, you know, uh,
I
what's it
told
called?
them, I use this script. Legally, I cannot give you a referral, but I want to make sure that somehow I show my appreciation for you to refer me.
Yeah.
It's it wasn't is it RESPA that changed the rules? So we have to in being fair to all people, and so because of that, it's you have to just be very careful on your referrals.
No for
Yeah.
referrals.
That's
We
what my
cannot offer referrals because only referrals have to be give to people who has license.
yeah. So I know my mentor was like, you can't
Yes,
give them
we cannot
money,
give
but you
referrals
can give them
fee
like
to
a
our
gift
A
clients.
card.
gift, yeah. That's what I say.
So
Gift card is a good source. So sticking with gift cards will keep you safe.
yes, and this is the thing.
That's why I just say a $500 referral bonus, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I never offer referral fees to my clients. Some ask me for it, and I tell them, unfortunately, according to the regulations, I cannot pay for referrals
Just
if
give
they
them
don't
a
hold
gift
a
card.
pilot license. However, most of
Bless
the
you.
people, I provide an extra service to them. So they refer me not because they want something back from me, because they already get something from me.
So take them to lunch.
Talk to me
Sometimes,
about that. Like, what
Or
do you
dinner.
usually
sometimes
go out
yes,
and go
I
out
take
to
them
with
to
them?
lunch. Sometimes I buy a present for the children, something that they didn't mention that they want to add to the home.
Get creative. You
Yeah,
can get
like
creative.
somebody say, oh, I planning to like give an agri to my garden. Oh, and what are you looking for? Share with me what ideas you have. So they share the ideas. I go and buy the plants for them.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get creative. So it
And
doesn't have to be money.
yes. So somebody say, oh, a good plumber because I have a issue with my line. Don't worry. Let me go and my husband gonna stop by your property and he gonna see what is going on. If he can fix it, he gonna fix it for free. If he cannot, I refer you to somebody.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's where I earn the referrals.
You go the extra mile, Gloria. They remember you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have to earn it. We don't have to pay for it.
And that actually would be the easiest. I would say the easiest way to to build your database is that having the relationships. They'll remember you by the service that you gave them. Because we can get leads all day long, but those leads don't really know you. So when you get the referrals from your clients, it helps. It's actually it's a more you're more confident source because they trust you, so they will work with you versus you and everybody else.
Right.
So because we had a saying, buyers. Do you remember? It was like when I first started real estate, that was one of the things they told me. They're like, sellers and buyers are liars. Because they'll tell you one thing and it's another thing, and so but building that relationship for me, I don't really worry when I have that client that's referred to me because I know that they trust me based on who I helped and they're going to stick with me.
When they have my buyers or sellers consultation, I tell them, I'm not a priest, but I need you to confess all your sins to me. So I can see really how can I help you.
Right.
Don't hold any information if you think that can change your situation. Let me know. I am on your side and I am here to find a solution. You feel that something can be a problem in the future? It's better if I know ahead of time to see if I can really help you.
That's good. You do that in your consultations?
Yes.
That's good because you're creating that safe space where if something does come up, and anything can come up. We've seen a lot of things in our years in real estate. Anything can come up. And everything does come up at the end. So they can't really hide anything from you. They run the statement of information, so you'll see if there's any child support due or if there's any liens. Like all of that comes out. So building that in the initial conversation to earn their trust that say, hey, I'm here for you. We'll work on this together. but just don't keep anything from me, because
You're kind
the
of,
truth comes out.
you're kind of setting up the expectations, mutual expectations
Mhm.
from each one.
So service all your leads. So we know these campaigns. We're familiar with this page.
Yes.
So you may follow up by adding more contact, record updates, your task, launch additional smart plans, manage your referrals, and design all sorts of marketing material. Have you all established your websites already? Okay. You guys are ahead of the game. So if you need to get help, you have database, what's it, command your database, connect. So here's where, we know we service all of our leads, we track them from start to finish. So any questions or aha moments?
Take good care of your clients. Take good care of your leads, all of them, regardless. Never
It's
know
a
when
lot,
you're gonna have them.
main customer service. Yeah, nurturing, but also it also takes you being knowledgeable and educating them. They will appreciate that. So the more you absorb and the more you know, you're able to tell them like, hey, this will be the best for you, because you're there for a reason. You're there to help them think of what's the best for them and why they should buy with you and why they should buy in general. So,
Yeah. Yesterday I have another couple coming to my open house. They have a duplex on their lane and they are already pre-qualified. And they don't have an agent. They just went directly with the lender to get pre-qualified, and they were sharing with me that they already pre-qualified. And said, by the way, do you because they own a duplex, do you report rent on your income taxes? And they say no because my mom lives on the back house. So I tell them, okay, so far the regulation changed. You have to qualify to make both payments, the one that you have now and the one for the new house that you're planning to buy, if you don't have a rental experience. Make sure that the lender, you really qualify with the lender, and that doesn't gonna be an issue. So when I told them that, they say, oh, they didn't mention. Maybe I'm wrong with your lender, but double check with him. I don't want you to go into escrow and find out later that you need to have a rent experience and you don't qualify for the second home.
and what happened?
They say that they're gonna go by, and they ask me if they. I told them I can put you in contact with my lender, and I can get more information. Maybe I am wrong, but so far this is the most updated information regarding when you're planning to buy your second home. To use rental as an income, you need to cover rental experience. If you don't have rental experience, you have to buy the second home as an investment, or you will have to be able to make both mortgage payment with your income.
So that type of knowledge, it will come with experience. So it comes to the next, where's the next one? Oh, no, about KW Cares. It comes with experience later for her to be able to educate her clients when they're, because we're not lenders, right? But you'll know little things here and there, talking to your lenders, going to pick their brain. That would be a good thing, is to pick the brain of your lenders.
The lender.
So they kind of give you like the basics. So when you do your consultations, you'll know where they're at. And for example, how she was able to help them. Because what if she didn't? You go into escrow and then it falls out because they couldn't qualify at the end. So everybody has a task when in a transaction. The lender has theirs and you have yours. But just have some style of inside information is helpful so that you can also educate them. Just knowing the basics of lending helps.
Yeah, like right now we went into escrow, and one of my buyers, she has 2 years work history. However, in her previous job, she's working under an agency. So she's not employed directly with the company, but to an agency. So if she's working to an agency, she has to have 2 years work experience with that agency, and she doesn't have that. So they didn't tell us that when they pre-qualify her, it was to deal with work already already in escrow that the underwrite uh, didn't approve the loan.
See? So it happens.
So and
It
it's
happens.
painful for the buyer.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't because I'm not attached emotionally to the transaction, but for the buyers, it is.
Yeah. No, it's an emotional purchase.
Yes.
It's one of the most biggest um, things that they do in life, and they're trusting you with hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it becomes very emotional. Commercial real estate is different. They're very cutthroat, but residential is very emotional. So now with the 4 laws that we've ran through, do you guys feel confident in now filling up your data bank? Any questions on the data bank?
It's so funny. I was talking to a client yesterday, and she was like, you know what? I got her from, she called in, and so from floor time, and so she was like, I've talked to a lot of different agents, and nobody's ever followed up the way you do. Like nobody seemed to care about what I wanted or ask me what I needed, and there was somebody I've been working with for a long time, and she never answers, and then she was trying to give me her assistant, and then her assistant, like, it was just a big confusing mess, and I really appreciate you, and like, I wanted to sign a contract, I want to pay commission, I want to pay for the service, because I know that, I want to pay for your job. If you're not doing anything, I don't want to pay, why am I going to pay you?
So that now times are changing. So now we have the buyer broker, right? So we're going to have to show our value when the market changes. Right now the sellers are happily giving us commissions, but there's going to come a time where that market is going to shift, where the sellers are going to be like, I got plenty of offers. Who is not asking for commission? I will take that offer. It's going to get there. So you're going to have to really prove your value with these clients, and it takes with a lot of communication and letting them know step by step. Like you said, cultivating it, following up. Your follow-up game's got to be on point. Not overwhelming, but let them know that you care. So trust in your database, but you got to follow the rules, but don't quit too soon. So it's going to take a minute. Some people you'll sell, 6 months, or you'll sell in a year. You might not sell anything for the first year or so because you're building, right? But keeping your touches, keeping your connections with your leads, eventually you will get there. Someone will want to move forward, but not quitting. People quit and they're just like, okay, this is not for me. But it's cultivating. It's like a farmer. You have to sow and cultivate and nurture them in order for them to, to bloom. Yeah. So my biggest thing is don't quit too soon. Any questions or aha moments?
I was like right now seeing myself. What is what was that I stopped doing it that I didn't get the same referrals as before. So I need to go back to the beginning,
Back to the basics.
back to the basics, like making sure that my clients are really satisfied with my service, give them a reason to refer me.
Yes. So your aha, how has your thinking changed? Any new ideas? What ideas or mindsets is new for you guys?
Social media for me.
Social media.
Yes.
You have to adapt, because if not, you'll have a blockbuster moment. That's what we call it. When you fall out, you have to adapt. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be videos of you. It could just be, you could film a house and just do clips, like do's and don'ts. One of my issues, I would say, or challenges, is that I think that everybody knows this already. So, but it's not. I had a conversation with this young lady, and I was explaining to her equity. I don't know, the word equity came up, and she's like, "What is equity?" And I'm like, "You don't know what equity is?" And she's like, "No." And so I explained it to her, and she's like, "Oh, that's really interesting." And I'm like, I assume everybody knows what that is. So don't assume, because there's a lot of people that, or they know or kind of know, but they've gotten the wrong information. So don't assume. So let's see. Anybody want to volunteer or share their experiences so far in your building, your database building. Well, I'm excited for you guys. Owen's like, I'm ready to work. So have you done open houses yet?
Yeah, I did too.
And so
Good.
far so good?
Yeah.
How many leads did you get?
Got one.
Okay.
But they came in with a Zillow agent, so I'm gonna give them a call later. Hey, how's it going? I met you guys at
They
the open
signed in?
house. Yeah, they signed in. Well, I got their information. I was like, hey, can you sign in real quick? The seller was interested to see who came in.
They're teaching you well.
Yeah.
That's good. Let me see. Okay, well I think we are good. We finished almost just in time. Any questions? Any journeys? No? How many of you guys have, like, since you are in your database so far, have any escrows because of your database? Not yet?
Yes, I have one because I'm learning right now. Two. And one of them was a referral. And
Okay,
the other one is a repeat client.
okay.
Yeah. Most of my leads, now that I am thinking of it, like 80% of my leads are from open house right now because I've been focusing on doing open houses. So what they say, or you focus on the spam.
Mhm. Open houses work. They might not sell the house. I mean, sometimes it's happened, but it really helps bringing in traffic. And it's easier to cultivate because they're coming to you for a reason. You just want to find out what the reason is. The easiest thing with the client is finding out their hot button. What is it that motivates them? Why are you talking to me? They're talking to me. Well, you ask yourself, why are they talking to me? What is it that's motivating them? Whether they need to downsize or they need to upgrade, or they. So I was talking to a buyer that um, she was a random client, and she was like, I'm thinking about buying, but I'm not sure. And so she was very uneasy with herself. So then I helped her by asking questions. So whoever asks the most questions controls the conversation. So ask, what is it their motivation? Okay, so what's making you, or why do you just, or whatever. She couldn't give me an answer. So then I went down to, okay, so how many kids do you have? She has 2 kids. Yeah, but the house that we have right now, there's not a lot of room for them. So I go, okay, so you might want a house with a bigger yard? And she's like, yes. And so then I started pulling from her what it is. So now we're house hunting
Yeah.
because she wants a house with a bigger yard for the kids. So find out what is their motivation and then hold them to that. So whenever they, you go shopping or they go, oh, I found this house with a big yard for the kids. And what I do is I follow up with them by texting. Most of the clients right now, 99% of them prefer texting versus getting them on the phone. So how my follow-ups, I do it that way. If it's not an email, if they don't open that, texting always helps because they're getting it right there. So I send them something of value, a house that I saw. Hey, thought that this might interest you. What are your thoughts? And then you get them engaged. Sometimes they'll respond, sometimes they don't. But then you'll send another one and just say, hey, this one just got 20,000 under price. What do you think? Or would you be interested in seeing it? Are you available this weekend? Like, just get them going. But find out the nugget that I can give you is that find out what is their motivation. Always. Because sometimes they'll make you, like, not beg, but drag it on of why, oh, I'm not sure, I'm waiting for the market to drop or whatnot.
Interest to go down.
Right.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Never underestimate nobody because when you have an open house and you're listing and the neighbors come along, they just come along because they are curious about if this house is better than theirs, just to confirm. Or maybe just nosy. But if you treat them right and you are friendly with them and make them feel comfortable, they're gonna refer you. Because that happens with my listing on R2 in division. He gave me already three
those that are doing cold calls, just be mindful of the do not call list. So we have the Telephone Consumers Protection Act, so here, I think you guys are on your list of your do's and don'ts of,
I don't have that.
cold calling.
What do you need to go? When you do.
You can go on it's called the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. So it regulates the calls and texts, because there's some people that are, so just check, be mindful to check if they are on the do not call list. Sometimes they'll tell you that they're not on the do not call list, but be mindful of that, because there's some clients that can sue when there's penalties to that.
That's what keeps me from calling.
So that's in your list. That's in your list.
No, no, no. No, you have to check
Where
with
is my phone?
the registry.
Any questions? I know we went a little over, it's already time's up, but just start your conversation list of the people, so the ones that you got today, go and get the reviews. That would be my first thing for you guys to go start that, so that you can start posting that, and do your two to three posts a day to get you guys out there. Any questions for me? All right,
When,
guys.
when you start your business, where you get most of your leads?
When I first started was floor time and my sphere, which was at church. So that was where I first started to generate. But I would do a lot of floor time too.
What's floor
So
time?
floor time helps. So floor time is where you answer the phones. And we sign up, so you should sign up for it. I can show you after where you go to sign up online. And there's different windows that you can get, whether the morning, afternoon, time. And they pretty much, whenever there's a call that they want to talk to an agent, they will send it to you. And then you can pick up leads that way too. So that's another source. So there's many sources to get leads. You just got to get them and convert. All right, guys? Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now go make some money.